so much, Mireille. I'm so pleased to be on your show. It's an opportunity, and as you mentioned, thank you for the glowing introduction. As you mentioned, our journey. So I will speak to our journey metaphorically in so many different ways. So, who is Ritu? I think I asked this question myself a lot. Who is Ritu? So, as I wear many hats, and how did this journey begin and where we are right now. So it had been in a pretty interesting conversation with myself that I started as a ambitious young woman with a very, very different career in mind as growing up and a college graduate, but life had a different plans for me. So things changed. I migrated to United States as I got married, and somehow the trajectory of life took a different direction than I was planning to. So, as the very young, naive, or inexperienced about life, you try to sort of figure out when you are very young. So you do the best you can, and so looking back, then I wanted to continue my education, but the circumstances were not providing me that opportunity. So you make sense, and in that process, I learned other things. I learned to be an entrepreneur. I learned to be more accepting of things that were not in my control. And that began, as we talked about journey, and that began a parallel journey of inside and outside. And that still continues. And I think a lot of people would relate to that. And I hope I was going through those circumstances. People go through confusion, agony, hurt, and it all together, uncertainty, fear of unknown. There's a whole lot you have to balance. And while you're being shaped into something, and if you allow yourself to melt down completely and not be able to shape into something, it would change the trajectory in a very different direction. But in a meltdown, if you allowed yourself to be shaped into something stronger, then you are completely on a different path. As educators or service providers, we can only give them what resources are available in their community, and the final decision or ultimate decisions, either final or maybe they are at a point that they don't know which way is the best, and they are starting points for them. Those decisions individuals have to make. Many different dynamics that they come into place, right? However, when I say a human experience, as per se, as we can say, the agony, pain, insecurity, emotional abuse, whoever is being either perpetrator or victim, I think they both are feeling somewhere. Perpetrator is also going through some sort of a mental health issue or emotional wellness issue. People don't want to hear the word mental health, but it's some sort of trauma or some sort of an obsessive behavior that's causing for them to treat their partners that way. If in your household you're not feeling secure and safe, and you are being talked down and being constantly reminded of you are no one, that is a good sign for people to know that if you don't feel a normal human being in your own dwelling, in your own home, you're scared inside your own home,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think faith is a very big part of people's life.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to have conversations with faith leaders, but it was very difficult to get their attention for this topic,
Mm-hmm.
to be on camera, to be very honest. Um, because even if we don't feel we are a religious person that go to our places of worship on a regular basis, or we believe in this or that, but when we go through traumatic experiences, we go through troubles, very often we say, God, why me?
Yeah, yeah,
God,
yeah, yeah.
help me.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, where do we turn to? And
Mm-hmm.
this was a question for me, and I'm sure that this was a question for a lot of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I did address this topic of, how do we seek help when it comes to being in a traumatic situation, and the role of faith or religion.
Mm-hmm.